You see, life doesn't change when your circumstances change, it changes when you do. The richest person can feel empty, and the poorest can feel grateful. The strongest can feel broken, and the weakest can rise with purpose. Transformation isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. And today, I want to share with you the 4 things that, if you truly understand and live by them, will not just make your life better, they will make your life beautiful. Gratitude changes your vision. When you start to live with a grateful heart, your entire world begins to shift. You see, my friends, it's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratitude that makes us happy. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment to feel thankful. They say, when I get that job, when I buy that car, when I find that person, then I'll be grateful. But that's not how life works. Gratitude isn't something that follows success. Gratitude creates success. Imagine waking up every morning and instead of checking your phone, you check your heart. You take a moment and say, I'm grateful I'm still breathing. I'm grateful I have food on my plate. I'm grateful I have someone who loves me. I'm grateful I've been given another day to make things right. It doesn't matter how small those things seem, because gratitude turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. A grateful person doesn't see what's missing, they see what's already there. And that changes everything, because what you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, your problems grow. But if you focus on blessings, your blessings multiply. Gratitude is like a lens. It doesn't change the scenery. It changes the way you see the scenery. The same sunset looks more beautiful when your heart is thankful. The same meal tastes richer. The same people feel more precious. Think about this. The richest person on earth without gratitude will always feel poor, and the poorest person with gratitude will always feel rich. Because gratitude doesn't depend on your bank balance, it depends on your mindset. Sometimes we forget to be thankful for the simplest things. Our health, our family, our senses, even the struggles that make us stronger. We wait for life to be perfect before we start appreciating it. But the truth is, gratitude doesn't need perfection, it just needs awareness. There's a saying, what if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you thanked God for today? Imagine that. Wouldn't we start thanking for even the tiniest details of our lives? Gratitude teaches us humility. It reminds us that nothing is guaranteed. Every breath, every smile, every sunrise is a gift we didn't earn, but were blessed with. And when gratitude enters your heart, complaints quietly leave. You stop comparing your life to others. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, thank you. You begin to notice beauty in brokenness, lessons in pain, and growth in loss. You realize that even the challenges you face carry hidden blessings, opportunities to become wiser, stronger, kinder. So, if you truly want to change your life forever, start by saying, thank you. Not just when things go right, but especially when they don't. Because gratitude in good times is appreciation, but gratitude in tough times, that's transformation. The secret is simple. When your heart is grateful, your life becomes graceful. Forgiveness frees your soul. We often think forgiveness is about the other person. The one who hurt us, betrayed us, broke our trust. We imagine that by forgiving them, we're letting them off the hook, that somehow they're getting away with what they did. But the truth, my friends, is far deeper. Forgiveness isn't something you do for them. It's something you do for yourself. Because when you don't forgive, you're not chaining them, you're chaining And every time you hold on to anger, resentment, or bitterness, you carry that person in your heart even when they're not around. You replay the scene, the words, the moment over and over again like a movie that never ends. And slowly, without realizing it, that pain becomes your identity. You wake up with it, sleep with it, talk about it, and it begins to define how you see the world. Forgiveness is about cutting that chain. It's about saying, I refuse to let my past pain poison my present peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget what happened. It doesn't mean you pretend it didn't hurt. It means you stop allowing it to control you. It means you choose peace over punishment. You see, when you don't forgive, you drink the poison hoping the other person will suffer. But you're the one who slowly burns inside. Your mind stays occupied by what should have been instead of what can be. Sometimes people say, but they don't deserve forgiveness. And maybe that's true. But forgiveness isn't about what they deserve. It's about what you deserve. You deserve to be free. You deserve to move on. You deserve to stop carrying the weight of someone else's mistake. Holding on to anger is like holding a burning coal. The longer you hold it, the more it burns you. When you forgive, something magical happens. Your heart becomes lighter. You start to breathe again. You feel the space that pain once occupied begin to fill with peace. It's not instant, it's a process. Some wounds are deep, but each act of letting go is like removing one stone from the wall around your heart. And slowly, light starts to enter again. Think of forgiveness as emotional healing. Just like a physical wound, it needs care and time. You don't ignore it. You tend to it. You acknowledge the hurt, you feel it, you learn from it, and then you release it. Because your soul wasn't made to carry endless anger. It was made to love, to grow, to experience peace. Sometimes, forgiveness doesn't come in one moment. You might forgive someone 100 times before it finally feels real. And that's okay. Forgiveness isn't a switch, it's a journey. Each time you let go, you take one step closer to freedom. And here's something powerful: forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. You can forgive and still choose distance. You can forgive and still protect your peace. The act of forgiveness happens within you, not in the relationship, not in the apology you never got, but in your own heart where healing begins. When you let go of anger, you create room for peace. When you release resentment, you open the door for joy. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it changes your future. It stops your story from being defined by what happened and allows it to be shaped by what's possible. And in the end, forgiveness is not weakness. It's the ultimate strength. Because it takes courage to say, you hurt me, but I choose not to let that hurt define me. It takes strength to look at the person who broke you and still say, I will not let your actions destroy my peace. The moment you forgive, you stop being the victim of your story and start becoming the author of your healing. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start realizing, maybe it happened for me, to teach me, to strengthen me, to prepare me for something greater. So, if you truly want to change your life forever, forgive. Not because they asked, not because they earned it, but because you are ready to live free. Because forgiveness doesn't just heal relationships, it heals souls. Discipline builds your destiny. Everyone wants success, everyone wants happiness, everyone wants peace, but very few are willing to pay the price. And that price, my friends, is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your reality. It's the quiet force that turns your intentions into actions your dreams into results, your desires into destiny. People often think motivation is what drives success, but motivation is like a spark. It burns bright for a moment and fades. Discipline, however, is the steady flame that keeps burning even when the spark is gone. There will be days you won't feel like doing it. Days when you're tired, uninspired, discouraged. Days when your mind whispers, just skip it today. It won't matter. But those are the exact moments that define you. Because discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up when no one is watching. It's saying no to what's easy and yes to what's right. Think about the most successful, the most peaceful, the most fulfilled people in the world. They aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the most consistent. Talent gives you potential, but discipline gives you progress. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, it dies unused. A seed only grows when it's watered every day, not once in a while. Discipline is not punishment, it's an act of love. When you discipline yourself, you're saying, I care about my future self. I care enough to make sacrifices now so I can live better later. You're not restricting your freedom, you're creating it. Because when you don't have discipline, your impulses control you. But when you have discipline, you control your impulses. And that is real freedom. There's a simple truth. If you don't rule your mind will rule you. The brain loves comfort. It seeks shortcuts. It craves ease. But growth never happens in comfort. The moment you step outside what's easy, you step into what's possible. Every great musician, athlete, monk, or leader you admire got there not by luck, but by discipline. By doing the same small, boring things day after day until they became great. Discipline builds habits, and habits build character, and character shapes destiny. What you do occasionally will never change your life. What you do consistently will. Think of water, soft and gentle, yet it can cut through rock, not because of its power, but because of its consistency. When you start practicing discipline, people may not notice. There's no applause for waking up early, no medals for saying no to distractions, no audience for hours of quiet hard work. But one day, when your results speak, everyone will call you lucky. They won't see the discipline, they'll only see the success it created. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's about honoring your commitments. It's keeping promises you made to yourself long after the mood in which you made them has faded. It's waking up for your morning walk even when it rains, studying when your friends are scrolling their phones, meditating when your mind wants noise. These small acts don't just build your habits, they build you. The truth is, discipline is spiritual because it teaches patience, humility, and endurance. It trains your mind to focus on the long term rather than the instant. It teaches you the joy of delayed gratification, the sweetness of earning something rather than being handed it. And when you live a disciplined life, you realize that real happiness doesn't come from indulgence. It comes from alignment, from knowing you're doing what's right even when it's hard. So start small, wake up 10 minutes earlier, eat with awareness, speak with kindness, do your work with honesty. Because discipline isn't built in grand gestures, it's built in small, consistent choices. Each time you honor your word, you strengthen your self-respect. Each time you follow through, you become stronger than the excuses that once ruled you. And one day, you look back and realize every small act of discipline shaped the person you became. Every sacrifice was worth it Because discipline doesn't just change what you achieve, it changes who you are. It molds your character, it refines your soul, it builds your destiny.